Group Managing Director NNPC meets President Muhammadu Buhari, resolve issues resulting to fuel scarcity. Ondo State Election Petition Tribunal affirms Governor Akeredolu's victory. Plus, updates from the world of sports. Good evening and welcome to NTA Channel 12 News at 7. I am Yemi Dalimo with the news. President Muhammadu Buhari has written the Senate seeking the confirmation of Justice Salisu Garba Abdullahi as the substantive Chief Judge of the Federal Capital Territory High Court. Justice Salisu Garba Abdullahi, until his appointment, has been in acting capacity. In the same vein, the Senate has confirmed the nomination of Muhammad Dattijo Usman for appointment as the Federal Commissioner representing Niger State in the National Population Commission. The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Mele Kolokiari, is advising the motoring public to avoid panic buying of petrol as issues resulting in the scarcity of the product has been resolved. The NNPC board stated this while briefing journalists after an audience with President Muhammadu Buhari.
These queues will go away because there was an industrial action by petroleum tanker drivers against their employers, the National Association of Road Transport Owners, around their compensation package. And those issues were not resolved up to yesterday until we intervened to ensure that there's an amicable settlement between the parties so that they will have peace, and then normal loading operations will commence from the depots. As I speak to you this moment now, loading has commenced in all depots in the country. Dispatches of trucks are ongoing in all depots in the country, and they have called off the strike for a period of 1 week so that enable us to intervene and find resolution. So there's really nothing fundamental that is happening now.
Mr. Mele Kyari also gives reason why NNPC declared that there will be no increase in fuel price for the month of May.
Fully regulated PMS market. As this is going on, we're engaging all parties and all stakeholders as government, and to make sure that at the end of the day, there's an exit that is beneficial to the ordinary man. And that is why we know we will not be able to complete that in the month of May, and therefore we declare that there will be no increase in fuel price.
Training and retraining of community-based media practitioners on acceptable global best practices, especially on modern broadcasting, will go a long way in solving the challenges of community journalism in the country. This was the thrust of a discourse during the first award ceremony of Tropic Reporters and online media based in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Mohammed Adebowale has the reports.
Advantages of community media includes strengthening and mobilizing people at the grassroots to participate in governance with capacity to facilitate and ensuring effective communication in places where mass media operations are not well felt, thus fostering development in other media marginalized communities.
Creating this avenue for people to have access to verified information globally, whereby we also not neglect the background, that is the local area, through which journalism from the local area is more significant, and that is why we have thought of it to create this platform for people to leverage on for this information globally.
As good as community media is, experts say community-based media practitioners must be empowered with adequate training on current trends in broadcasting, using their community as a case study.
One key thing to do is to work on the systemic problems, power being one of it. Yes, the NBC has brought down the cost of license to about $1 million for 5 years for community radio licenses, but the process of getting it is not easy. Making that process less cumbersome would help many people who have applied to get the license and indeed start the process of operation.
Tropic Reporter, an online media platform celebrating its 1 year of operation, organized an award ceremony to appreciate prominent personalities who distinguished themselves in their various fields of human endeavors.
We're not supposed to relent in our effort. We have been given an award in terms of, community security. And I think that's also a challenge that we in the PCRC, especially in Ogun State, have to do more, especially with the challenges that we have around us now, is to push me to do more in leadership role, which I've been playing in my community and my local government.
Shows that yes, what we are doing for our people, there are some set of people outside there that actually see the worth, see good do things that we are doing, protecting lives and property of our people, and it is a wonderful thing that I'm being given this award.
The online platform focuses on promoting journalism from the citizens' perspectives to enhance access to credible information and clarification on basic issues and topics affecting the growth and development of communities. In Abeokuta, Mohammed Adebowale, NT News.
The Nigerian Army says it will continue to prioritize training and retraining of its officers and men towards ensuring their gallantry to face contemporary security challenges. General Officer Commanding 81 Division, Major General Lawrence Fejoku stated this during the opening ceremony of Corporal and Below competition in Alamala Barracks here in Abeokuta. Lukman Adefeso's report is presented in this package.
The General Officer Commanding 81 Division, Major General Lawrence Fejoku, described the training as apt considering the security challenges facing the country, adding that soldiers in the rank of corporal and below are participating in the competition to equip them with the best practices in the Nigerian Army.
The charge by our Chief of Army Staff, it's clear, very clear from the onset. We're going to lean heavily on training, and by imbibing the tenets of training, having it at our fingertips, to be very easy for us to combat security situations as they arise.
Kickstarting the 2021 edition of the training, 3 formations participated in the exercise, which commenced with drilling competition, where participants showcased their gallantry and professionalism during the parade. At the end of the drilling exercise, 9th Brigade came first, followed by 81 Division Garrison, while 35 Artillery Brigade Alamala clinched the 3rd position. Other activities lined up for the 4-day competition include weapon handling, swimming, half marathon race, point-to-point navigation, and obstacle crossing. The 2021 Corporal and Below competition is aimed at enriching the participants' level of professionalism, promote esprit de corps, and make them more responsive in the discharge of their constitutional duties in line with the vision of the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Ibrahim Atahiru. The competition ends this Thursday.
The Ondo State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Akure has affirmed the election of Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu and subsequently dismissed the petition filed by the People's Democratic Party candidate Eyitayo Jegede SAN, challenging the outcome of the October 10, 2020 governorship election in the state. Toyin Batsire reports that the 3-man tribunal headed by Justice Umar Abubakar delivered the judgment via Zoom.
The judgment that was delivered through Zoom had in attendance all parties involved. Justice Umar Abubakar, who first read out the petition and defense, and afterwards ruled on the jurisdiction, stated that the issue raised in the petitions filed by Isaiah Jegede of the PDP are settled issue of internal affairs and management of a political party, which the tribunal has no jurisdiction, and therefore dismissed the petition.
We are satisfied that the third and fourth respondent was sponsored by the second respondent at the Ondo State governorship election held on 10th day of October 2020. For all the reasons stated above, we resolve certain issues set out in paragraph 181 above in favor of the respondents. We hold the petition to be without merit. Accordingly, we dismiss the petition in its entirety.
Counsel to the third and fourth respondent, Remi Olatu Bora, stated that the judgment will be in the good history of Election Petition Tribunal in Ondo State.
I've listened with great attention to the judgment just delivered by your Lordship. We commend your Lordship for the wisdom.
Today's judgment brought to an end the almost 6 months of proceedings on the petition filed by Isaiah Jegede at the Ondo State Governorship Election Tribunal, challenging the declaration of Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu as the winner of the October 10, 2020 governorship election. In Akure, Toyin Batire, NTA News.
And now heading to Lagos, the center of excellence, where the authorities there is now saying that it will no longer be business as usual for those who publicly or secretly misappropriate public funds across the Lagos metropolis. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu stated this when he signed into law a new bill to set up Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission in Lagos. Musa Toliat reports.
The governor's assent to the Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Bill 2021 marked the establishment of an anti-corruption outfit that will instill financial discipline and check corrupt tendencies in public service. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said, although the commission is set up to complement the efforts of EFCC and ICPC, the anti-graft outfit is backed by law to investigate and freeze accounts of corrupt public servants and contractors in the state.
I want to continue to remain accountable, responsible, and be able to stand in front of the people and be able to say that this is what we've used public funds for. So a commission like this, we believe, will further ensure that people that are found wanting in whatever sphere, in whatever means, can indeed be brought before the law.
When the House of Assembly approved budgets, and all this money has been taken to various MDAs, we want to know the way and manner in which they spend this money.
Governor Sanwo-Olu also signed into law the Lottery and Betting Bill 2021, aimed at harmonizing lottery and related activities under an effective regulatory regime.
As a proactive and as a forward-looking government, the least we can do is to go back and do the needful and ensure that fair play, fair regulation, fair monitoring is brought back into that industry.
The governor is expected to appoint a chairman for the Anti-Corruption Commission, subject to the approval of the Lagos State House of Assembly. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
You are still watching Channel 12 News at 7. More stories after this timeout. Stay with us.
Nta Abeokuta, solid as the rock.
Thanks for being there. The World Meteorological Organization has released the 2020 State of the Global Climate Report, which places the year as one of the warmest in history. Onengie Fineface reports.
Organization shows that 2020 had record greenhouse gas concentration, increased global temperature to 1.2 degrees Celsius, acidification and acceleration of ocean heat, and sea level rise propelled by melting glaciers.
Only long-term solution is to be successful in mitigation, but adaptation remains very important because this negative trend in climate will anyhow continue until 2060s, and that means growing amount of drought problems in some parts of the world and growing amount of flooding problems in other parts of the world.
2020, the report indicates, also witnessed extreme weather conditions like wildfires, heavy rains and extensive flooding, drought, among others.
This is a frightening report. And
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres warns that without concrete action to cut carbon emissions, the new decade beginning this year 2021 could be more devastating for humanity.
This is truly a pivotal year for humanity's future. And this report shows we have no time to waste. Climate disruption is here. I urge everyone to take the message of this report to heart. Let us all commit to act to stabilize our climate and to end our war on nature.
The Global Climate Report was initiated in 1993 to provide data to understand and provide solutions to climate change and its effect on the planet. Onengiye Fine Face, NT News.
Still on weather-related stories based on the expected normal to above normal annual rainfall across the country in 2021 as predicted by the Nigeria Meteorological Agency NIMET, farmers in Bauchi State have expressed confidence towards overcoming the likely negative impact of the prediction on farming activities considering the level of their preparedness so far. Bulka Afsat has the details.
According to the Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET), normal to above normal rainfall is expected across the country. It also forecasts that the length of farmers' season will span between 110 days in the extreme north and over 300 days in the south, while most places are likely to have their usual length of season. State Meteorological Officer in charge of Bauchi State, Buba Sule, says Aleri and Tafa Balewa local government areas of Bauchi State will have their onset of rain on May 15, 2021.
The rainy season will start by 15th of May. Last year's prediction and this year's prediction has less than 100 millimeters, maybe 10-20 millimeters differences. And the highest has always been Bauchi Metropolis. So even this year, the highest rainfall will be recorded in Bauchi Metropolis. The earliest onset will be in Alkileri and Tafa Balewa. And then one good thing about it is that if you have the onset, you know when to plant.
The program manager, Bauchi State Agricultural Development Program, Jafaru Abubakar Ilela, said the project has packaged series of sensitization for farmers in the state through the media and village extension workers who will adequately educate farmers through techniques that will best suit the climate prediction.
This year, we are trying to see how we can make short season variety crops available to the farmers, particularly the rice, maize, and cowpea, including sorghum.
On the other hand, Secretary, All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Bauchi State Chapter, Muhammad Sani Ibrahim says they will also work hand in hand with the extension staff to ensure that they have good yield.
The ADP, through their extension unit, always have package for the farmers based on the prediction.
In Bauchi, Bulak Afsa.
For updates from the ever-exciting world of sports, let's join our sports desk. We apologize for that technical hitch. And it's on that note that we wrap up the news tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.